All right, so we're going to look at, off of the arm drag, we're going to look at an inside trip. So as we're coming forwards, like I said before, our partner's going to come in and try to get the grip on the collar, or I've already got myself a grip on his sleeve or wrist here. We're going to go with my partner's pouring out. So as he pours his hand out, I'm going to do this wax on movement. I'm going to grab the tricep to arm drag my partner through. As the foot comes through in front, I'm going to take my front leg and dive it through his legs. The idea here is that I'm going to get my Achilles down behind his Achilles without placing my foot on the floor. So as I drag through, I'm not stepping and placing my foot onto the floor like this. I'm committing my whole leg through down to the side. So we're trapping his foot inside our leg. So the bottom of my foot is not touching the floor at any time. It's going to come straight through to here. So as we drag through, I'm going to step in, drop, hold on, stay up for a second. Now, really important is that as I come down, this arm is going to shoot for the underhook on the far side. As I go for the takedown, if I maintain this arm drag position and I take my partner down to the floor, now he can arm drag me back and he can come up and take the back. So as we pull through, arm drag, we drop in for the trip, my arm is going to shoot to the far side for the underhook and then continue through for the takedown. I've already got my underhook in this top position and I'm nice and secure. If my partner doesn't trap onto my leg, I can just back step out and pass. More than likely, my partner's going to lock me into a half guard, but I've still got this full smash position, which is what we're going to work from next, okay? So, here, wax on, pull the arm drag through. As the leg comes close, our leg is going to drop into the center, shoot for the underhook, and then move myself up, get into a nice tight half guard. So again here, 1, 2, drag through. As I drag, my front foot's going to drop into that space. Remember, pad of the foot's not going to drop in. Dive for the underhook, get the takedown, get it nice and tight for the finish. Okay? So we're going to do arm drag into inside trip. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it. Good. So with that inside trip takedown, we're probably going to end up in this half guard position. So obviously there's many different ways that we can pass this, but one of my favorite ways is to get lots of cross-face pressure and look to release the knee up to like a quarter mount position. So we've ended up here. We've already got the underhook from the takedown and we've got this cross-face. So to change myself up to create more pressure with this cross-face, I'm going to take the cross-face hand, I'm going to go nice and deep, put my fingers into the armpit, pull it nice and tight. Then once I've got that grip, I'm going to switch my hips out. So I'm going to switch and bring this free leg underneath my partner's leg. So I don't know if you can see around this side here. So I'm pinching nice and tight on my partner's leg. Balls of the feet on the floor, but do not let your hips touch. So at the moment, I'm getting a lot of shoulder pressure because my hips are off the floor. As soon as I drop my hips down to the floor, number 1, he feels better about life. And number 2, I just don't have enough pressure to make this work. He feels more comfortable. He has a lot more movement available to him. So hips off the floor, lots of shoulder pressure in. Then, once we've got this position all in place, I'm going to take this right hand to the knee, and my foot, I'm going to start to walk up. So walk up until my knee pokes through. Once my knee's poked through, I'm going to drive my knee to the floor. But as I start to drive to the floor, it's likely that this partner here is going to take his hand to the knee to try to push it back through. So as I walk up, as the hand comes into position, I'm going to go underhook. And then I'm going to walk his arm away so I can continue to drop my knee to the floor. Okay? So we're going to go through some submissions from this position in just a second, but one little detail I want to add to this, which a lot of people forget about, is that when you get caught in this quarter guard like this, a great option is to knee cut down to the far side, particularly if I've got this nice deep underhook as I do now. So nice deep underhook's going to stay in. Body pressure is going to come forwards. I'm going to lift my hips and drop my knee to the far side. I like to bring my head to this near side to kind of mimic the cross face that I had. Arm's going to come over the top of the tricep. Cut my knee down my partner's leg to create pressure through his hips. Drag the foot free and up into my side control position. So again, nice tight half guard. I've got my underhook, I've got my crossface. Fingers are going to go in, then we're going to drop the pressure of the crossface in. Switch the hips up. Bring your knee underneath your partner's leg. Balls of the feet, nice good pinch with your legs. Hand to the knee. Walk, walk, walk until the knee comes free. As soon as he starts reaching with this arm, underhook. Walk up to take it away. Drive your knee to the floor. From this position, we're going to lift the hips. Knee drops down to the near side. Head replaces the crossface. Arm comes into the tricep. Cut your knee away from the body, basically down his leg towards his knee, so our hips become nice and heavy. Turn through into the side control. Right, so let's go back to, first of all, getting out of this half guard. So we're going to go fingers into the armpit, nice crossface. Just with this crossface pressure, we want to make them feel like they almost want to tap out. So someone tough like Craig is not going to really tap out to shoulder pressure to his jaw. Like, he can deal with that. What he can't deal with is that pressure onto the artery that's going to make him pass out. So be real specific at where you're aiming your shoulder. Don't be up too high and crushing his face. Although he's not enjoying that very much, like, he can deal with it. If I drop my shoulder down to his chest and then bring my shoulder into the neck, give him a good 10 seconds of that and he's going to be starting to feel pretty faint. And sometimes you'll just get the pass because they'll want to release that pressure. So drop in, get good crossface pressure, switch of the hips, good pinch, balls of the feet, hand to the knee, walk up, start to drop as he brings his hand in. We're going to go into the underhook. We're going to start to walk up and get up nice and high with this arm. So we want the arm to come up nice and high, and we're going to hug onto the armpit on the far side of our crossface. This second arm is going to come through, and we're just going to cup the head initially, but I still need to get my leg free. So I'm going to bring my chest forwards, post my head onto the floor. The leg that's free, I am going to bring it to the inside of my partner's leg, and then I'm going to pry the legs open. Once they're open, bring the legs off, tuck the feet in, and then we're going to slide back in and get control of the hips again. So, a couple of different submissions we have available from here. We're going to focus on two. One of the main ones that we could hit is arm triangle. We're going to focus on Americana and straight arm lock from this position. So, I'm going to come over. See, I've got the hand in the armpit. Hand comes over and it's going to cup the head. We're going to take the hand out from the crossface, go straight to the wrist, lock in on my own wrist. When I feel like I'm ready to go, this far side hook is going to stay deep. The reason this is going to stay deep is as I start to unloop, if Craig tries to bridge me to this side because I've committed, I straighten the leg. It's going to help me maintain and stay in that top position. For the Americana, roll so we get the pinky on the floor. We're going to paint the floor with the back of the hand, bring the hand down to the hip. Nice tight shoulders. Then if we can't go any further, we're going to start to lift the elbow. Oh, you do have some tight shoulders for a young man, don't you? Yeah, nice and tight. Now, one thing that he's going to do a lot here is because he realizes he's in Americana trouble, he's going to start to straighten his arm. As he starts to straighten his arm, we're going to let it rotate up to this 45-degree angle. Just not like tight with your grip, but just let his arm naturally turn so we get that 45-degree angle. Now we're going to push down onto the wrist and pull up with the elbow. Ooh, yeah. Nice straight arm lock. So again, in, fingers, nice pressure with the shoulder, switch the hips, no hips on the ground, hand to the knee, walk until the knee comes free, in for the underhook, walk up until we get nice and high. This armpit control, head control, lean, put your chest into their face, base on the floor of your head if you want to, leg comes to the inside or foot comes to the inside, pry the legs open, drop back in. Stay on the head control. Take the cross face out, hand goes to wrist, lock up for your figure four. Lock the far side leg in. Number one submission, unloop, pinky on the floor, paint the hand down, raise the elbow up for the finish. Or if he panics and starts to straighten his arm, we just follow to this 45-degree angle, press, lift, straight arm lock to finish. All about just the pressure, slow, methodical. Make this partner feel awful all the way through. 1, 2, 3, let's do it.